is something I had to learn. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the studio. If you're new here, welcome. All are welcome. My name is Deanna. Today we're talking about releasing control, about letting go and moving towards a more peaceful life. I was really inspired to do this video after talking with a friend of mine, just telling me about some of the relationship issues she was having with her boyfriend at the time. She was, walking me through what was going on and her concerns and what she wanted. Then she had said to me, okay, so Diana, how do we fix him? And that made me realize that she had not yet learned or realized that you can't fix anyone. You can only fix yourself. I also had to learn this. I used to be so preoccupied with trying to control every single thing and people and all of these external factors that really we have no control over. Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, things just don't go your way? I've been there, It made me realize that one, there was a deeper reason for why I wanted to control things. I'm not really gonna get into that today. I feel like control is often a symptom of something else, and these videos are not professional advice. I'm not a professional. This does not constitute as any sort of legal, psychological, medical. I'm not a professional, y'all. Alright? I'm just a girl sharing my lived experiences with you. What I have observed is that insecurity and trauma can make for a recipe to try to protect the self. So I don't want to have to deal with my own stuff because it's too difficult. People will distract themselves with taking up interest in you and trying to tell you everything that you're not doing well, everything that you should be doing instead. It's not your job to try to control, fix, or change people. People will always be who they want to be, and everybody has their own path to walk. And life, like I said in last week's video, life is about lessons. Life will teach people what they need to know along the way. It's not your job. It's not for you to get fixated and preoccupied with trying to teach people a lesson. It's your job to observe people and situations, and then you decide whether or not you want that in your life. That's why I keep saying, first you have to know who you are and what you want, because those will become your standards. And when you're lenient with your standards and you don't stand firm with your standards, then you start letting in things that are just not aligned for you. And then that's when you feel like you need to change people, fix people, mold people into who you want them to be. Instead of trying to be like a master puppeteer and try to control all of these variables, you have to just accept people for who they are. And if you can't accept people for who they are or who they're showing you that they're going to be, because people often get caught up in potential. You see potential in people. You see, this is something I had to learn. My toxic trait, honestly, which I'm still working on it. Okay, I'm trying. I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect. She is aware of all of her flaws, all of her deficiencies, but she's that girl. Okay, so one day we're gonna get it. We're gonna nail it. My toxic flaw is I tend not, and it's not something that I do deliberately, I don't see people for who they are. I see them for who I want them to be or who they could be. But that's flawed. That's flawed because that person doesn't exist. That person only exists in your mind. Bruh. And they don't even know. They don't even know that. So it's hard to try to juxtapose them or compare them to this imaginary potential might never actually come to fruition. Anyways, I'm going off on topic again. You have to decide, can I accept this? Can I accept the fact that this person might be this way, be this person forever and ever? Amen. You really have to ask yourself those questions, because it's not your job to try to change people. That's ultimately something that somebody has to want to do on their own accord. And getting people to change is very difficult because people first have to realize that there's something wrong with their behavior or something that needs to be addressed or curbed. And then you have to get to a point where you start taking corrective action. that's very, very difficult because people don't like to be honest with themselves. People don't like to confront themselves. People don't like to be uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. People don't like to be uncomfortable. And being uncomfortable requires real transparency, real discipline, real self-awareness. A lot of people don't have self-awareness. And it requires you to put aside your ego. A lot of people say, oh, that's just how I am. This is who I've been. Beyond that, in order for people to really change, you have to get to a point where you are tired of your own foolishness. Like, no more excuses. You're fed up. You want to actually change. You're going to keep trying to change. It's not a linear journey. Growth is not linear. Control is an illusion. The only thing you can control is yourself. And even then, life is gonna take over, right? It's like that saying, we make plans and God laughs. Mel Robbins popularized the let them theory. To give you an example of the theory, if your friends don't invite you out, let them. If the person you're interested in doesn't want a commitment, let them. Stop trying to force people to do what you want them to do. We all have free will for a reason. Let people focus on their lives and you focus on yours. The other thing I want to share is when you focus on trying to get somebody to change or even revenge. A lot of people spend a lot of time trying to plot and scheme and manipulate. Another example is if you sit down and you talk about people like you're a gossiper. The more time, attention, and energy you give to those things is the less time, attention, and energy that you have for yourself. You have to remember that time is a finite resource. Once it's gone forever. You can never get it back. Think of your time and your energy and your attention as currency. Would you spend money on something you don't need and you don't want and you cannot use?
We listen and we don't judge.
Seriously, like, think about it that way. Let's say you buy this thing that you don't need, whatever you consider expensive. Let's say it's super expensive, you don't need it, but you're just so focused on it. Versus something that you actually do need, but now you can't afford it because you have this other useless thing that's just taking up space and has taken your funds, and you can't return it, you can't exchange it, you're stuck with it. You can't sell it, you're just stuck with it. And now you have this other thing that is more urgent and pressing that you need to get, that you can't scoop up because you don't have enough money, you don't have the space for it. Where are you gonna put it? You see what I'm saying? You have to be very deliberate and intentional about where you're putting your pockets of time, energy, and attention, because otherwise it's just gonna move you further away from the things that you do want. So to give another example of, like, if something bad happens to you and you let that ruin the rest of your day because you're in a negative mindset now or a negative headspace now, that's something that you have control over. You can choose not to let this negative experience ruin the rest of your day. And then if someone is trying to project their opinions of you or their opinions of what you're trying to do, and they're trying to, create doubt in yourself, if you listen to them and you take that on, you're now abandoning yourself and giving them control over you. So you're giving away your power. My dad told me once, and this really stuck with me. He said, whenever you have power, don't give it away. And that always changed my thinking, because when you give away your power, now something else or someone else has control and power over you. I love a Dr. Maya Angelou quote: when people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them the first time. Okay? Stop ignoring those red flags. Just take note. And it's not coming from a place of judgment. It's just to say, can I accept this? Do I want this? Does this align with my standards? And then if not, you move on. So when someone or something doesn't align with what you want, just put it back where it belongs. It's like, imagine you're shopping and it's not what you want. You've been checking it out. Oh, don't like these ingredients. They're poison to me. you know, put it back on the shelf. Move along. Remove yourself from situations that are not beneficial for you. Because, like I keep saying, the more time and energy and attention that you give to the things that are not for you, that just means you're just blocking your own blessings. You're blocking the things that are for you from coming into your life. You're not really losing anything. All you're doing is just creating space for the things that you do want and the things that are on the frequency that you're on to come to you. So let go of your ego's need to be in control. Free yourself of all the stress that comes with trying to control every single detail in your life, and prioritize your peace of mind. I want you to ask yourself, what is one thing you can let go of to bring more peace into your life? All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys next week in the studio. Bye.